Be doing a remote or a push button start on the RZR, and I have the ignition out. The only problem is the push button start. This is a 4 wire, 1 2 3 4. The push start is a 6 wire, 1 2 3 4 5, and there's a blue one, 6. The blue is for the accessories, the red is power, black is ground. So I know what those are. I just saw a video that said the green wire is the starter, which means the yellow goes to the green, okay? Yellow to green. So we know those 3. We just got 2 left. So we got white, which goes to our power to the ignition, and brown, which powered to the ignition too. Yeah. Keep in mind, I am not a wiring guy. This is not my thing. So I do know that this red one here will go to the red, this green one will go to yellow, and then we got these 2 here, which I need to figure out what these 2 go to. I'm guessing one's gonna be brown and one's gonna be white, but I just need to figure it out. But yeah, here we go. All right, so I've capped off each one of these, and on my ignition switch I added these little guys here so I can just cap into them and kind of figure out what goes to what. I do have a little wiring guide, but the wiring guide doesn't tell me much about a 4-pin. It really only tells me about a 6-pin. And we know here that brown supplies power to the ignition on 2. So I'm guessing that's when the engine started. Yellow to the starter motor, blue to the accessories, which we don't have accessories. Black is our ground. Red is a constant, so it needs power the whole time. And white supplies power to the ignition on. So really the 4 that we need are white, yellow, brown, and maybe white, yellow, brown. And then maybe the brake one on the blue brake one down here. That may be what we need too for the brake lamp. So yeah, I think we need white, yellow, brown. Obviously the black and the red we need, but white, yellow, brown I believe are what go to this here, and then one will be our brake line. So we'll figure that out here shortly. Now once I'm done, you guys will know how to do this to your RZR. All right. So I may very well have figured this out. So our accessory wire is our red, right? Which we have running other accessories. Our starter wire is our orange. And then the yellow goes to this white and brown. And then our brown goes to green. And I'm assuming that's right. Now I'm supposed to attach this brake line to something, but I didn't. But when I get the little RFID thing, so here's this, tap it here, and I press once, those are our accessories, and that turns the bike on, right? Like that. So the bike is in on position, okay? And then you press it again, it turns everything off. Accessories take a little bit longer to turn off, right? So let's give that a second to turn off. And then I'll show you here in a second, once this shuts off. There we go. So now, if I press the start button, we turn on our accessories. And if I press the brake and press this again, there we go. But it stays blinking. I don't know if it's supposed to stay blinking. I I think it stays blinking because this hasn't been attached to the brake wire. And so it doesn't realize that the brake has been pressed. But somehow this is connected where the brake wire is being pressed. So I got to figure that out. But yeah. All right, so I'm pretty sure I have the ignition system figured out. Am I 100% sure? No. But am I pretty sure? Yeah. And so with that being said, I need to drill out that hole a little to make my start button fit. What it looks to be is a shoot, I don't know, a half inch hole. And so I'm really going to try to center this up the best that I can. But look, I am not always the cleanest or nicest cutter, as you can tell here. So I'm going to hope for the best. And if it doesn't, then, you know, oh well. This isn't meant to be a show bike. I've said that since the beginning. It's meant to be something that I enjoy driving. And so that's what I'm making this become. I just changed spark plugs, super simple. But guys, I am so close to being done with this thing. Hit a slight snag with these batteries. They're marine grade batteries. They're supposed to be sealed, but these damn things are leaking everywhere. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to take them back to Walmart. I'm past my return. Maybe they'll exchange them since they have a 1-year warranty on them. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we're about to drill this hole, get this fitted, and see how it looks. Looking back, the hole saw probably wasn't the best idea, as it kind of made it jagged, and because there's like a little upper part here, it's kind of sitting a little awkward. But I mean, for the most part, it looks pretty good. I would say it looks pretty factory. You wouldn't be able to tell that it wasn't supposed to be there. So I'll let you see how it looks here in a second. So here's the RFID chip. I accidentally already touched, like it just needs to come close like that. It is now there. You press this once to turn on your accessories, which it is turned on. Twice to enter like basically on mode. And then one more time to turn it all off. And then to start it, you hold the brake down, right? And then press the button. Just like that. So, yeah, I mean, it works. All right, guys, I've officially figured it out for this RZR starter. So the brown wire we do not need. What the brown does is our supplies power to ignition 2 onto when during the engine start of this power has no output. What was happening was when I would press the brake, right, it would send power to the starter and the starter would try to start. And that was every time I pressed the brake. That wasn't just the first time I pressed the brake. It was every time I pressed the brake, the starter would kick on, which let me know that the starter, which was originally on this red and white cable, was being triggered by the brake. And so this is actually the brake line. This red and white cable is your brake line. And so I moved the red to, or the yellow to the green, and the brake line to the red and white line. The accessories now go to the all red line, and on one goes to the orange line. So what that gives us, so when we get our RFID chip, move it around, one press gives us our full on one, because we don't have any power to on two. So press it again, everything's off, which is what I want. Then what would happen was when I would press this and everything would turn on, when I would press the brake, it would send power to the starter and the starter would go, but now that's not working. So when I do that and I now press the brake and press the starter,